Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you all for being on the call today. We have quite a lot of people on live. I'm super grateful for that. It's always, whether you listen to this as a podcast or if you listen to it, participate here live, either way is awesome. There's something about being here live. There's just like a really close, almost a family connection that we have here live. So I encourage you, if you haven't ever participated live, to jump on 7 a.m. Mountain Time and be with us at least, once or twice so you can experience that. And a lot of things that were shared as we were doing our rounds of gratitude before we started our recording, a lot of things were associated with family. I kind of got the impression that maybe there's been some family reunions going on, or summer vacations where families been crammed together on a vacation and creating some fun summer memories. The healing that happens within a family. A couple of people mentioned that they're grateful that they are better parents now that they have discovered, some healing within themselves. Good times, family ties, choosing to love someone within your family. There's just were a lot of things that had to do with family. And then also vulnerability was mentioned. And I thought, you know what, that's probably the most vulnerable that we get is within a family situation. And so I thought that would be just a really interesting subject for us to focus on. I didn't think that was just kind of what, felt felt like the right subject today. And so that's what we're going to do our private silent meditation on, is gratitude for vulnerability within family. And I'm going to get my timer set for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for vulnerability within family, and just see what comes up. Write down whatever comes up, and then we'll share afterwards. So 90-second private silent meditation, gratitude for vulnerability within family. Begin. All right. The word honesty was the first thing that came to me, that vulnerability is really just being honest. And, a couple things. I remember when I was a kid, if I got, 100% on my spelling bee or on my spelling test, I would run home and I would just be like, I got 100%, and share and toot my own horn. And you can do that within a family. It's being honest. It's just like sharing openly and honestly about yourself. And so that can be a really good thing. It's a really safe place to be able to share good things. And also honesty, fits in with things that we might, if we, there might be some things that we've done that we're embarrassed about, or, ashamed of even. And if we can be honest within family, that's the first step to healing. I used to work, my business was led by being an addiction coach. I've always done, lots of things, but that was for 2 years. That was my main focus, was helping people overcome addiction. And one of the things that I taught them was that connection and being able to trust and be safe within your family, or, your community, whatever you chose that to be able to be open and honest, was the first step. That's the antidote to addiction. And I think vulnerability is perceived as bad if there's no trust. If, we don't trust the people that we're sharing with to honor it, if it's not safe. And sometimes it is true that it's, not safe to be honest and open and vulnerable within a family setting. But usually it's our perception. Usually if we do allow ourselves to be vulnerable and honest, then we're actually received a lot better than if we try to hide something. I have recently, in the last, I would say probably 6 months, most especially in the last probably 2 to 3 months, have really started seeing my family as the human family. I've really started, including everybody in the world who has ever lived or who ever will live as my family. And as I was doing this meditation, I realized that, wow, I am so much more vulnerable. I'm so much more honest and open, like on social media, or just basically anybody that I talk to. It's like I'm becoming more of an open book. And it's because I see the whole world as my family. And there's just a different feeling when you start seeing things that way, when you start seeing people that way. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I do, Wileen. Hi, this is Andrea.
Thanks, Andrea.
Just a few minutes ago. But last night, my family had a party for one of my sister's birthdays. And it was so much fun. The thought that came to my mind this morning because of that party is how silly and goofy, and you can lose at a game and make fun of yourself, and everybody kind of rouses you, and it's just happy. It's a happy, loving family that we should strive for, and it's so meaningful. Some of the best memories in my whole entire life are having to do with family gatherings, wherever they may be.
I love that. Thank you. And I love the idea of, just thinking about those family memories, because those times when we really anchor in with laughter and fun and goofiness, and those are what creates those memories that we can kind of anchor our feelings back to if we ever need to go back to those feelings, to find happiness again. That's awesome. Thank you. Who else has something they'd like to share?
When I was doing my meditation, I realized I have perceived that in my marriage that it's not safe. I didn't realize it wasn't safe until you were talking about that, though, because I didn't use that word. But I realized that I have perceived hurt and pain and things within my marriage, and so I have felt like it isn't safe, and I'm grateful for that realization so that I can address it, because it is so easy to perceive pain and hurt and rejection when it isn't really there, just because we are designed to protect ourselves. And so I'm grateful for that added understanding.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tyree. And I'm so grateful that you feel that you can be vulnerable and honest in this setting, in this family setting, to be able to share that. Thank you. Tammy, you had something.
The one thing that came to me is that it's a gift, and I really love that perspective. I think there's been a lot of things within my marriage over the last year that have been coming to the surface and being healed. And I think if we can look at it from that perspective, that it's a gift, it just opens up, those relationships to fully function as Heavenly Father wants them to function.
Wow, beautiful. Love that. And it really does take vulnerability to create a space for healing to take place. As long as there's mistrust, as long as there's, like a closed off feeling, healing cannot take place. Thank you. We have to open up the wound for the medicine to get in. Thank you. Who else?
I had another thought, Wileen.
Okay, thanks, Andrea.
The term unconditional love, the Christ-like love that our Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ have for us, is what my family strives for. We don't always act that way, and we have contention at sometimes with some members of the family, but the goal of having that unconditional love in your heart for the members of your family, that no matter what they have said to hurt you, or maybe you don't appreciate what your children are doing or your parents are doing for not being the perfect parents, you still love them. So, in such a Christ-like way, that's the goal. If we can do that, I think the world would be a wonderful place. Oh, it would be amazing.
Thank you. I really agree with that if everyone could love everybody like Christ loves, it would totally be an awesome world. And I know eventually that's going to happen, but it might take a while to get there. There are some scriptures that talk about charity, which is the pure love of Christ, and that if you have charity, you're nothing. And so what the antithesis of that is, that if you have charity, you are everything. Not only are you everything, but you see everybody else as everything too. And I just think that's a wonderful goal to shoot for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process? All right.
I'll share.
Okay. Go ahead, Kathy. Thank you.
I'm just really hesitant because when you're thinking about your family, there is judgment and there are guarded emotions and feelings. And it just really came up strongly to me that, you know each other the best, but there's things that we don't know. And there's just healing that needs to be happening. And when we talk about just we love each other regardless and unconditionally, and I realized that a lot of it had to do with my mom and ancestors, and there's just a lot to be grateful for. But I think the most important thing that popping out to me is how looking for the good things and loving what is, and just being more accepting, more loving, more kind, more edifying, and looking for the good in others. And I think the thing about my mom was she had a really hard time loving herself. So if you can't love yourself, it's really hard to love others. And I just see how that affected everyone in my family. And we do love. I mean, there are good things to look at, but it's just more important to look at the good things and to love unconditionally and to love ourselves, and realizing that our families are really part of who we are. So just love what is.
Well, beautiful. It's absolutely true. We come to a family, and I have to believe that that's divinely orchestrated, that we come to the perfect family that's going to help us in our journey and our path here on the earth. I know I look at my kids and I'm like, I don't know that they would have been as accepted or, turned out as well as they did if they had been in a different family. I really feel like the family that we have is perfect for them. And something that you said about, knowing each other best kind of sparked something that I just want to share with you, that I know happens within families, that I just want you to be happy. And there's like this desire, we even pray for our family to make certain choices or do certain things that will put them on the path that in our minds, we think, well, I know that person best. And I know that they're going to be happy if they, will go down this path. But really what it is, it's like, I am happiest when I'm on that path, and I want my family to be with me. So I want to bring my family over to my path. But the truth is that all of us have our own unique path. We're in our family, and we're in this little nest, where we get to learn and grow, and it's like the perfect setting for whatever it is that we're preparing ourselves for our own path. But my path is completely different than any of my siblings. And I know that, and all of them are good. All of my siblings' paths are perfect for them. And I think that's something to be aware of, that we do know each other best within our families because we've had all those experiences. But when we grab onto that and we think, I know my child best, I know my husband best, I know my mother best, whatever, and I just want her to be happy, and so I'm hoping for this for her. I would say probably 90% of the time we are incorrect, that their path is actually taking them somewhere else. And if we can free them to walk their own path, and help them to just, know themselves best and know that God knows them best, and walk their own path side by side with God and with Christ, that's going to be the best, way that they can be the happiest. Hopefully I could go on and on, because I'm experiencing something right now that is making me feel passionate about this. But any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process? All right, let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And all of these things that have been mentioned about honesty and charity, and knowing that each one of us has our individual path, and what a wonderful experience when we can be within a family setting, whatever that means, whether it's biological family or the Gratitude Call family, or any type of family setting that feels very safe to be open, to be vulnerable, to be honest, and that we can invite charity into that space to allow ourselves to walk our own path and be the best that we can be, that will bring about our own truest happiness and fulfillment, and that we can free others to do the same, loving them with that Christ-like love, giving charity to them, allowing them to walk their path, and loving them and seeing them as their highest and best self, as Christ sees them, looking within their hearts and seeing their greatness. Take one more deep breath. And in this space of letting go, freeing yourself and others to walk your path, being honest and open and vulnerable within that safe, protected family setting, what is your ultimate dream or vision of your own path and where that leads? Just allow yourself to completely be free and open right now to float along that path, just easily speed along that path forward to see where we're all together and everyone has successfully completed their path, and we're meeting together again just in joy and happiness, excitement, creating those fun family memories again, with everyone having completed their path successfully. Coming home to family and being able to celebrate. I got 100% on my spelling test. That kind of a feeling that you're free to celebrate yourself and with others with no jealousy, no envy, because everyone was successful and everybody achieved their ultimate vision. No competition, just pure joy of celebration in each other. And the first question is, what is the limiting belief that's showing up for you in this vision? And if you actually notice within your life the way it has been, how that limiting belief has tainted your ability to have charity for yourself and others, to allow celebration for yourself and others. Notice what that limiting belief has been doing to close you off and to not allow you to fully experience the feeling of honesty, trust, vulnerability that is the training ground for growth, for healing. What's the cost of that limiting belief? And now that you're aware of what the cost of that limiting belief is, I invite you to make a choice. You can keep that limiting belief, or you can give yourself permission to choose a new one. If you're willing to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, say yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And then, awesome. Thank you. And so if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, then go ahead and do that. Choose 2 to 3 new beliefs. Allow yourself to write some words down that will take the place of that old limiting belief, and that will also carry you to this ultimate destination. Check to make sure your new beliefs fit in this vision that you just experienced of being at the end of the journey and having everyone come together as family and celebrating your success and others' successes. What new beliefs will empower you and give you the courage, and also just give you the ability to be that kind of person that can celebrate yourself, that can have charity for others, that can see the good and the beauty in others and celebrate and create family memories with every person. 2 to 3 new beliefs. And then once you have those new beliefs, I invite you to really anchor those in, just as if you were in a family gathering and experiencing some really fun emotions like laughter and joy and happiness. Bring those new beliefs in and pack them away into your very being, into all the cells of your body, so that there's this memory of that these new beliefs are creating a memory of something really wonderful, and the freedom and the honesty, the openness, the trust, the love, the charity, the gratitude, the celebration, all of those feelings these new beliefs are just infusing your cells with this feeling of celebration and gratitude and love and charity. And having now become this person of charity, honesty, openness, gratitude, love, now that you are that person because you've put it into your cells, what is the one most important thing that you could do today to really anchor in this vision and see that this is actually true? I am living this vision right now. And this is who I am. What is your inspired shortcut to just creating some evidence and knowing and recognizing yourself as this person of pure charity? In a moment, I'm going to open it up we'll have time for maybe 1 or 2 shares. And I want to offer to anyone that is struggling at all with this to have a 15-minute conversation with me. And all you have to do is just go to askwylene.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a time to meet with me. I did open up some new times because I know my schedule was getting pretty booked. So there should be plenty of time over the next few days to be able to schedule that 15-minute call with me. askwylene.com is how to get there. Who has something they'd like to share about their experience today?
I do.
Okay, Michelle and then Phil.
Okay, I haven't been on before. This is my first time. Phil, give me, the link to come today.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been really struggling. I'm sorry, I'm really emotional.
It's okay. You're with family.
Yes, I've been really struggling with my family, and how I feel like you said about being have their own path, because I feel like, they should. I know, like you said, they I know them best, or that they should, and I never thought, that they need to be on their own path, and I just realized that that's what's important, that they need to learn from their path, not mine. And I never realized that until you said that, and I just opened my eyes to see that if I stop going off my path, they're going to see me go off my path and not see me succeed, and they're not going to believe in themselves because I fell short because of trying to hold them up, and then not realizing that as I fall, that I'm not seeing where I need to go and follow my path, I'm not going to succeed where I want to be. So that my family can see my path as I do succeed, that they'll see it and they'll believe in themselves, even, send that example, and realizing, hey, that I can believe in myself. She can believe in herself, so can I. And then they can start making their path and doing that they need to as I continue to move forward. I just never saw it that way. It's just been really hard, because I just want control and I want them to see what I can see, but yet I can't do that unless they're willing to see it on their own.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. I really appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing here within this setting. And you're absolutely right. And I hadn't really considered that if we are trying to fix other people, if we're trying to make sure that they're on their path, we're not on our path. We can't be 2 places at once.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. We can definitely walk parallel to them, and we can shout encouragement, and we can, pray to help them stay focused and straight on their path. And ultimately, we're going to end up in the same place. And the best way is for us to set a good example of staying on our own path. Thank you. So appreciate your shares. Phil, you had something.
Yeah, my limiting belief is that my family is embarrassing. That I am ashamed of my exclusions. The new belief I have is that my family is perfect for me, and that I have been perfectly placed, and that there are no accidents, and that I am here because of love. And the cost behind all that is missed opportunities to connect
Mm-hmm.
and receive unconditional love from them.
Mm.
And my action step today is going to be make contact with certain members of my family, and to try to be one with them and be vulnerable with them.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. And kind of all boils down to that safety. If I am embarrassed by my family, they are not safe to be vulnerable with me. If I perceive them that I'm not safe with them, same thing. There's not going to be any, I don't feel like a safe place where they can be vulnerable with me. So really, if we want to create that connection, we have to create a space of safety where, we're not going to make that decision that I'm embarrassed or they're, whatever. We have to create open, if we're going to create open communication, we have to create a space of safety that they can show up however they choose, even if it feels hurtful. But creating that open, vulnerable space is where healing can start happening. Thank you. Any last thoughts before, actually we are way over time, so I'm going to go ahead and end the call. I encourage all of you, if you have other things that you'd like to share, to go to the Breakthrough with Gratitude page. Thank you for those who are here the first time. I know we have 2 new people today on the call. I'll make sure I send you a video that gives you a little bit more information about the call, so you can even get more out of the call. And I hope you'll continue to join us. So we'll look forward to being back together tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, right here, and also continue to connect on that Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude. Thanks, everybody. Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Riley.
Thanks. Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.